So good morning to you all. How are you today? What have we been talking about for months now? Vestments, but not just vestments, because each piece of the vestments that the priest will put on are a part of the preparation that the priest does to make the offering of the bread and the wine that become the body and blood of the Lord, to make the offering and to lead the people in our weekly worship. And therefore, there is one more thing that the priest does after he has all of his vestments on. Anyone guess what that might be? After he's put on the sticharion and the epitrachelion and the zoni and the epimanikia and the thelonion, and if he has the cross or the epigonation, these as well, there is something that the priest has to do before he can serve. Well, he says prayers with every one of them. Good guess. I'll read you the prayer that the priest says while he does this, and you can tell me what he does. He says, "I will wash my hands in innocence, and I will walk around your altar, O Lord, so that I may hear the voice of your praise, and that all your wonders may be described for me. Lord, I have loved the beauty of your house and the place where your glory dwells. Do not destroy my soul with the impious, or my life with men of blood, in whose hands are iniquities. Their right hand is filled with bribes. But I have walked in innocence. Deliver me, O Lord, and have mercy on me. My feet stood in righteousness, and in the churches I will bless you, O Lord." Now this is from the Psalms. This is almost an entire psalm all by itself. Well, what do you think the priest does while he reads this prayer? Nope, it's different. What was the first thing in the prayer? I will wash my hands. So the priest has to wash his hands, and there's a special prayer for washing his hands. So when your parents tell you to wash your hands because they have germs on them, well, think even the priest has to wash his hands before he does the service. But it's not only because of germs, it's symbolic. Because the priest comes in. He's just a man, just a guy with a specific job who wears specific clothes, a specific calling, a specific responsibility. A responsibility that we have to remember is too great for anyone to bear, because the priest gives his hands to the church. He gives his hands to God to pick up the things that have become the body and blood of the Lord. When the priest says the holy things are for the holy, he picks up the amno. He touches it with his hands. The same hands that, if he has children, he's changed diapers with. The same hands that he has mowed the lawn with. The same hands that he has washed dishes with. Not that any of these things are bad or dirty, but the priest washes his hands because for the course of the liturgy, he puts aside the things of the world, the good and the bad. But he puts aside the bad things all the time, as all of us who are Christians are, don't misunderstand. But he puts aside the things of the world so that he may offer the things of the world to God, which is to say, so that all of us together may offer our lives to God, and so that God may transform them and change them. This is why we wash the hands. It's not just so that the hands are clean when we give communion, although this is important. It's so that we remember that we come to the church as we are, and yet we set aside what is broken, what is troubled in the world. We stop worrying about it. We ask that God will wipe it away and heal it as our hands are washed. And then we make the offering of everything that is and everything that we are. This is what we're doing. Now there's a practical point to this. Altar boys, have you seen sign on the door of the bathroom in the room there. What does it say? It says that the bathroom is only for the priest and it's only for emergencies. That's not just because the priest needs his own private bathroom. It's because we try not to use that as a bathroom. The sink there is part of the altar. And ideally we wouldn't have a toilet inside, because the sink is the place for washing the hands for this, not just for any common use. That's why. It's not because the priest needs a special bathroom all to himself. It's so that we don't use this as just another bathroom when it's part of the altar. Does that make sense? All right. I don't want the altar boys to think that I'm selfish and I need my own sink. This is not the point. The point is it's part of the altar. Before there was running water, then this would have not been a sink at all. It would have been a basin. It would have been a vessel of water that the priest would have washed his hands in, and they would have had to change the water regularly to make sure that it remained clean. And there was a vessel like this even in the old temple of the Jews, a great vessel of water that they called the sea. And that's the word that we find here. It says, go to the Choneptirion, to the sea or the ocean. We don't have a sea or an ocean, we have a sink. And it's in a bathroom. But we elevate the use of that. And this is why I make the altar boys go to the other bathrooms. Okay? So in this way, you are participating in the consecration, in the dedication of what is inside of the altar to holy things. All right? So what should we remember from this? Two things. When your mother tells you to wash your hands, make sure you wash them well. But remember that when we come to the church, we set aside the cares and the troubles and the concerns of life, or rather, we bring them to God, and we ask that He will cleanse us from what is dirty of them, and that He will sanctify all that we are for His service and for the sanctification of the world on His behalf. That is what we do. After this, we will start talking about the vessels, about the paten and the chalice and the prospero bread and the lonchi, the lance and the asterisk, and all of the different things that we use as we prepare the gifts. Today we finish with the vesting. So now let's stand and let us receive communion together.